og hun er grønlandsk digter og aktivist. Hun skriver om sine oplevelser som grønlandsk kvinde, der lever i Danmark ud fra et dekolonialiseret perspektiv. Og hun skrev for nylig en artikel i tidsskriftet Mørch med titlen "Danmark har aldrig hjulpet Grønland". Giv Akka en stor hånd.
Hello. Okay. Anana. Qoyanak inuna mi pinganu ni kiriaptikkem. Qoyanak qasusuitsuungavi. Qoyanak asanninnamnu. Sira Nuna Marina Sessuma Anna. Forces of nature, mothers of Inuit. Dangerous if needed, if not well treated. Not as a punishment, but as a reminder. If they vanish, we do too, and there's no we without you. Sila is in everything we see, we feel but can't see. Nuna is the earth, including every mountain and tree. Melt the ice in the heart of man, that's how we'll be free. Until then, we stand up. You can't ignore us, you see. We'll be louder than the storm from the sea. Stronger than the forces trying to silence me. Resistance is no game, but necessity, clearly. Anana taught me, do the right thing, scary as it might be. Don't forget, they want us gone and a culture too. Giving up is easy, this world will help you too. But the truths they're hiding will eventually show, and I hope it's not too late when they'll finally know. When I was asked to speak at this march, I was very conflicted. I was very conflicted because I didn't know if I was ready to say what I want to say, and even less sure that people were ready to listen. Then, after a while, I realized it doesn't really matter, because this isn't about me, and some things can't be left unsaid. The world is changing, and it's changing in more ways than one. What we have to understand about this situation is climate change is already here. It's here, and it's mostly affecting communities impacted by European colonialism. Yeah. And the legacy of exploitation of people and nature that colonization entails. Yeah. From countries in Africa, Asia, to those of South America, from Greenland to North America, the people who are paying most are those who've been historically marginalized by the process of colonization. Indigenous peoples. We're paying the price of inaction from the leaders and the people of the world. Interestingly enough, the ones who have contributed least to the damage are the ones who are now facing the worst consequences. This is way past just. But what we have to do is work on solutions that will actually affect the problems. We like to think we're progressive in this country. When it comes to climate and sustainability, we sort the trash. We turn off the lights when we leave the room. We're conscious about our water. And we need this, don't get me wrong. But the truth is we're way past the point we will affect the outcome of our future. Sorry. My point is, these things are used to comfort you, to make you think you're making a difference. It's baby steps in the right direction, but it takes more than that. Inuit elders say, melt the ice in the heart of man. Only that way we will see change. And what does that mean? It means we have to change the way we see life. And not only life as in the way we live, but all kinds of life on Earth. We're all connected by water, air, sun, earth. These are the things that keep us alive. And we have to learn how to honor that life. We live in a world where profit is valued more than life. where money becomes before human beings, all beings. One day we will realize how useless money is if we don't have life. And I fear at that time it will be too late to reverse anything, as it is right now. The difference we can make is to minimize the damage, make it easier for the people suffering under these circumstances to help themselves out of this. We can't keep waiting for the governments, because governments all around the world already made it clear that the life and health of Black and Indigenous people don't matter to them. Remember Flint and Standing Rock? No, we have to make change in our own life, and we have to start acting ourselves. The solutions must come from the communities impacted the most. The solutions must include their input. And people often ask, but Aka, what do you know about this? You don't have a degree, your people, you're so isolated. I mean, you don't have a standards of education. I don't think you understand. And it's true. I am no educated white man. I am a native Greenlandic woman, born in Upernavik. And where I come from, we're surrounded by nature the second we open up our eyes for the first time to the day we close them for the last. We depend on nature in ways that you can't even imagine if you have never been places like it. These elders, they've been looking at nature their whole life. And they have the knowledge of thousands of years of observation that has been passed down. So tell me, what do you think we know about this? How much more of an expert can you become? And it's indigenous people from all around the world. It's not just Greenland. The ones who grew up far away from this concrete world we live in. The ones depending on it all day, every day, and all the way, who are on the front lines of the impact of climate change. We have to use the amazing knowledge we all have to do the right things. Yeah. Use it to melt the ice in our hearts. Yeah. My mom told me a story about a man in Ittoqqortoormiit, which is one of the most isolated settlements in Greenland. And he got into trouble for carrying a rifle while taking his son to school. This may at first sound reasonable if you lived here. But the thing with this case was that recently polar bears started to come near the settlement. And usually polar bears stay away because they're scared of human beings, but their hunger has become bigger than their fear. Since the rapid melting of the ice sheet, it has become very hard for them to hunt seals, which means they're desperate. So this guy, he didn't want to meet a hungry polar bear while taking his son to school, at least not unarmed. The thing is, if you see a polar bear, you have to call an office, ask permission to do what you gotta do, and then wait for that permission. And my only thought was, who made this law? And I wonder if those people ever came across a hungry polar bear. I think not. Then I found out this law is made to prevent the extinction of the polar bear. What I want to say with this story is that we have to understand nature is smarter than us. Nature knows how to adapt to change. She's always been changing, but the difference right now is us. We're as many as we have ever been on this planet. We're the ones in trouble. The sea levels are rising, and they'll continue to do so, which is only one of the problems we'll face. I'm not saying we shouldn't care about animals and nature. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that we have to understand and realize how much more powerful and superior nature is compared to us. Melting the ice in the heart of man also means we have to start caring. We have to care when people who are not us suffer. We have to care. That's one of the things that keep our spiritual integrity, our humanity alive. And without our humanity, then what's the point? What's the point with anything? We define ourselves as human beings, but we act like robots. There's more to life than the next paycheck. I know we all depend on it, because much of the world is built that way right now. But that doesn't mean it has to stay that way. Change doesn't happen overnight. We all know that. And it takes a lot of effort. It takes more than standing outside this building with our signs and speeches. It takes more than a picture with the hashtag that says "Save the Planet." I mean, these things create awareness, and we've been doing this for a long time. But we need to bring that awareness into action. Unlike others, we have to stand behind our words. It's a privilege to be able to make a decision whether you care or not. Some people don't have that choice. And those are mostly black and colored people. And let's be honest, our voices are often silenced. But in the end, you'll need us. You'll need our knowledge, and we need you to listen. So tell me, do you care? If you don't, you better not stand in our way, but sit down and make room for people who are willing to see change by start changing themselves. So tell me, how will you expect change to happen if we all stay the same? Thank you.